Morning and welcome to Live OnCore Live. I'm your host, Robin Bell, and on today's show, we're going to find out what the future holds for medical wearable devices. Let's get started by welcoming Miguel Solivan, Avery Dennison Medical Marketing Manager, who's going to give us an update regarding what the business is seeing in the medical adhesive segment, including the growth of wearable devices. So this is the first time that we've had a team member from the Avery Dennison Medical Division joining us, and I think it's pretty exciting. Miguel, welcome to OnCore Live.
Thanks, Robin, and really excited to be here. And it is a first for our medical business to be joining OnCore Live. I know you and I have had some banter going back and forth around football, so I'm going to put it out there. There's going to be another first this year. I'm predicting that the Browns will win the Super Bowl. So so I'm excited about that, and you can hold me to that one.
Okay, well, if Mike Colarosi was here, we'd have a very interesting discussion. But why don't we go ahead and get started with, let's have some information about your background. And then if you wouldn't mind telling us about your role with Avery Dennison Medical.
Absolutely. So Miguel Solivan, I'm currently the marketing manager for our medical business. I've been with Avery Dennison for 32 years. 32 years ago, I started out in operations, and I've held several roles in operations in our coating and finishing departments. I've led teams in multiple sites over multiple businesses, including our performance tapes business, automotive, building and construction, and medical as well. So 18 years ago, I then moved on to the marketing and product management side of our business and held various roles there as well. And during that time, worked with many industry leaders across the medical space to develop new and exciting products and really collaborate on some really innovative solutions. So, and happy to be here.
I think this is going to be a very interesting discussion. So medical pressure sensitive adhesives, they might be a new topic for some of our viewers. Would you give us a brief introduction to Avery Dennison Medical?
Yes. So Avery Dennison Medical is a business unit within our performance tapes business. And the tapes business is headquartered in the Cleveland area, as well as we have a performance tapes division and a medical site in Turnhout, Belgium as well. Our mission at the end of the day is to offer adhesives and materials that are in use in patient care throughout the world. We're a customer-focused organization that truly values building lasting relationships together. So continuing to develop products that at the end of the day, our focus is improving patient care. We're a material science, have a material science expertise and vertically integrated in adhesives, meaning that we do have a unique capability in that we have one of our Avery divisions is an adhesive division that we work closely with to develop new and exciting adhesives. We have Avery, from an Avery Dennison perspective, we have over 200 sites. On the medical side, there are 4 sites around the world, manufacturing sites, 2 in Northeast Ohio, 1 in Turnhout, Belgium, and 1 in Longford, Ireland. Those sites are compliant with either ISO 13485 or ISO 9001, and we've been serving the medical industry for nearly 50 years.
There's a lot of credibility in what you all are doing here. Avery Dennison Medical, it serves several business segments. Would you tell us more about these segments and how they impact our viewers?
Absolutely. Great question, Robin. Before I touch on the segments, let me dive in a little bit to our capabilities and our product offering. So much like other Avery Dennison divisions, we offer roll goods and tapes in different constructions, such as a single-coated, double-coated, self-on, and transfer tapes. Within those constructions, they're intended for either bonding, tie layers, so bonding several different substrates together within the segments that you see on the screen, or direct skin contact. Our direct skin contact adhesives are compliant with ISO 10993 for cytotoxicity, irritation, or sensitization. And there are seven different adhesive technologies used across these segments. Acrylics, which are acrylic adhesives, which are the workhorse of adhesives, ideal for skin contact, safe, modifiable, and again, one that's used across each of the segments that you see. Hydrocolloid adhesives, which are rubber adhesives with absorptive properties used in wound care and ostomy. As well as TASA adhesives, which are Avery patented adhesives, and an example of our innovative solutions to the market, which is a combination of the adhesive properties of an acrylic and the absorptive properties of a hydrocolloid. Silicone gels that are used primarily in wound care that are intended to remove softly from or gently from skin. Silicone PSAs that are used in diagnostics due to their inert optical clarity in nature, and then additives within adhesives. So we have unique capability to add those types of micro or different types of additives into adhesives as well. Today, what we'd like to focus on is the wearable segment.
That all of this is very exciting, and you were talking about the silicone. I know some of the adhesives with the silicone adhesive, that's a game changer for elderly, particularly with sensitive skin. The wearables, this is a whole new world. It's fascinating. The wearable devices. How are these segments organized?
Well, as you mentioned, yes, the wearable segment is a rapidly growing segment. There's some studies out there that say that we're growing at 20-25%, double digits year over year. We've segmented into two different subsegments. The first being diagnostics. And let me just take a step back. And what is a wearable device? And a wearable device is a device that's worn on the body for an extended period of time that has some sort of functionality to it, whether it's providing a treatment or whether it's monitoring vital signs, for example. Those subsegments include diagnostics and therapeutic. On the diagnostic side, you can see basic devices that monitor basic vital signs such as blood pressure, temperature, sleep, blood glucose, which is a rising area of need for our users. Fetal monitoring and neuro monitoring as well. So these are just some examples of the types of diagnostic applications that are out there, and that leverage the adhesives that we supply to the market. On the therapeutic side, pain management, whether that's electro stimulation, whether that's a drug treatment, and to help with pain, rehabilitation, respiratory, drug delivery, and infusion. So again, talking about administering, invasively administering, non-invasively administering insulin. So these are all the types of devices that exist in the market, and devices that are utilizing our materials. Now, one other point I wanted to make, if I can, is that as you can imagine, these devices comes in different shapes and sizes and form factors. They adhere to the skin. The skin is a very dynamic surface. It's our largest breathing organ, and it's very challenging substrate to adhere to due to contoured skin, due to hair growth, oils that are used to, or that grow, that migrate to the skin to protect and moisturize, perspiration. Not to mention our skin regenerates every 14 or so days. So it's a very, very challenging substrate to adhere to, and one that we have unique expertise in.
Yeah, and to that, for example, with the elderly, for wound, for adhesion to the skin, having a bandage that they can take off and put back on, take off and put back on, and you need an adhesive that's going to be able to do that. So this is really important. This is an important discussion we're having here. So Avery Dennison Medical is a leader in medical wearable adhesives. Would you tell us about how the adhesive is incorporated into a medical device and how it bonds?
Yeah, so bonding to different substrates is again a very challenging task, and one that our customers come to us every day for solution to provide solutions to. So, an adhesive must be effective across many different types of substrates. As I mentioned, must be compliant with medical standards in ISO 10993 as it pertains to skin safety and efficacy, and then optimization of device functionality. As you saw in the previous slide, there's a lot of varying different types of functionality that we need to account for. The illustration is, I think, a good example of how we partner with our converters and our OEMs to add value to their design and their device. As you can see, and there's a level of complexity that and variability that's associated with the device. Um, and a converter has a unique capability that, when we collaborate and partner together early on in development processes, we can address a lot of the design inputs early on, so that we can provide solutions to varying to different components within a device. For example, an overpatch, as you can see in the illustration, an overpatch that has an adhesive that and a carrier that protects, secures the device to a user. The device level can come into play, and can contain inlays and electronics and batteries and hydrogels, which all need to be factored into that design and that device. And those adhesives that we recommend, the tie layer, which are typically double coated adhesives that bond the device to the skin layer adhesive permanently, to secure throughout the wear of that device. And then the skin layer. Again, I mentioned just a little bit about some of the characteristics associated with the skin that need to be accounted for. But to your point, there are different types of skin. There are different types of users. There's infants and more senior people and healthy adults, and placement on the body is very different. A device, as you see there, it may require different adhesive as it pertains to a flat surface on the chest or the back of the arm or the back area, versus the skin is very different on the abdomen, where it's got to be a little bit more contoured in some cases, and it has to have some durability as it relates to torque in your body. On the arm, when we could be a healthy adult that's going to the gym 5 times a week, and that durability of that device needs to sustain through the intended wear time. I mentioned wear time. These devices could adhere to the body or to the user for 24 hours to 7 to 14 or 21 days, for example. Different types of environments that need to be accounted for. I mentioned perspiration and skin oils and those sort of things. So very different from if you're in southern Texas, or if you're in up
Alaska.
or Alaska. Yeah, absolutely. And then the last is is it chronic wear, or is it for short term wear? Some users have to wear these types of devices for the rest of their lives, and we take that very seriously in ensuring that the device is of our part. We contribute our contribution to this device is safe, it's of quality, and that it meets the user's intended need.
Yeah. Well, that sort of leads me to my last question for you. If our viewers want to connect to Avery Dennison Medical, how would they do this?
Now, there's several ways. You can contact our account managers through our website, medical.averydennison.com. You can also contact myself at miguel.solivan.com or .averydennison.com. And there are also ways that you can learn more about our business, specifically on the wearable side. We have just recently launched our Wearables Adhesive Learning Center, which is an educational tool for engineers and those design folks that are working in this space that want to learn more about some of the challenges within the wearable device. For example, there are 7 different topics with 26 different unique design challenges associated with a wearable device. There's a lot of education there that we hope that you can leverage, and then contact us to help provide solutions for.
Well, thank you so much. This has really been a pleasure talking to you, and it's been a great learning experience about the Avery Dennison Medical Division. Thank you to all of you. That's it for this episode, this webisode of OnCore Live. From all of us at OnCore Live, thank you for joining us today. We are looking forward to seeing you in December.